Every time Ness takes a step forward on Gold Rush, there seem to be two setbacks. Retreats a step. He finally became the proud owner of his own mining property last week when he paid off his claim, a huge accomplishment. But the joy didn't last long because it was just temporary machinery. A snag in his operation caused by failure has cast doubt on his future. A historic triumph. For weeks, Rick had been battling technical problems and the uncertainty surrounding a mining license that he had not yet renewed, making it difficult for him to reach his gold totals. But in a major victory, he finally won enough gold to pay off his claim debt, which should have been a turning moment in his season. Many locations, including Duncan Creek, Rally Valley, and Crew Cut, were the focus of Rick's efforts. Teammate Buzz Lago was optimistic even though Crew Cut hadn't shown any results yet. Despite his conviction that gold might still be found there, his week-long quest to prove it was marred by setbacks. Once again, machinery was struck. This week, Rick's problems with broken equipment persisted, demonstrating that breakdowns are his greatest obstacle to success. Kyle Lawson's problems with the parking brake on his loader put Rocky's operations in jeopardy. Even though Ryan Kent located the problem, he couldn't find the replacement part. The crew persevered after improvising a temporary patch but faced yet another obstacle when the tilt linkage of the spare loader broke in half. The crew was left scrambling as these mechanical breakdowns occurred at the worst possible time, consuming valuable work hours. By the time they got everything back up and running, they had only recovered 9.28 ounces of gold, which is worth about $23,000. This was far less than the targets required to keep operations going. An impulsive bet. Rick made a life-altering choice as his season came to a close. He contemplated a high-risk, high-reward possibility after failing for the past 6 weeks. Research from drilling indicated that an expansion of Rally Valley, which was situated approximately half a mile distant, may have substantial gold reserves. The hitch was that the pay dirt was feet below ground, so he would have to wait at least 7 or 8 weeks to remove the top layer of dirt before he could start slogging. He risked ruining himself by betting $1 million on stripping the site and losing. Also, the time limits were extremely harsh. He would only have 2 weeks to recover from the enormous digging operation before winter hit. He faced insurmountable odds. Rick had to take the chance in the hopes of a large payment because his season was about to end. The outcome of the season is uncertain. Weather, broken gear, and money worries have been frequent companions on Ness's adventure this season. New challenges have arisen to test his mettle with each advance. Gold Rush viewers are left to wonder if this risky new venture can salvage his season or put an end to his mining dreams forever when he begins it. The battle is far from over, that much Ness knows for sure. For Ness, Season 15 of Gold Rush was the most challenging ever. Every step he has taken has been faced with additional obstacles, turning his path into an uphill battle, from financial uncertainty to mechanical breakdowns. This season has challenged his resolve more than any other, in contrast to previous ones where he overcame hurdles and progressed. A historic triumph that came at a high price. Rick battled with his swing for weeks, as he deals with the constant mechanical failures, renews his mining license, and worries about his gold totals. He finally won enough gold to pay off his claimed debt, a major victory. Someone should have seen this as a turning point after this accomplishment. It had been a lifelong goal of his to finally possess his own claim. Yet there was tremendous pressure to do it. The monetary ramifications of every choice are now substantially higher. Rick has been working on a number of different sites: Crew Cut, Rally Valley, and Duncan Creek. Crew Cut hasn't shown much so far, but teammate Buzz Lago is still holding out faith that they'll find gold. He had a week to show it, but it didn't work out either. Once again, machinery will strike. Keeping his enterprise going in the face of regular equipment failures has been Rick's biggest struggle this season. The safety of Rocky's activities was put at risk when Kyle Lawson encountered an issue with his loader's parking brake. Ryan Kent found the problem, but they didn't have the part to fix it. When the spare loader's tilt connection broke in half, the team had no choice but to devise a makeshift fix and keep going. Mechanical issues struck at the most inconvenient time, causing the team to lose valuable work time and leave them racing to find a solution. They only managed to retrieve 9.2828 ounces of gold, which is worth roughly $23,000 by the time they got everything operating again, significantly lower than the objectives required to maintain operations. Even though Rick has a reputation for being tough, he has been tested to his limits this season. Constant repairs have put a burden on his finances, making it hard to reinvest in expansion. His window of opportunity is getting smaller by the week. Frustration and low morale have been felt by the team as a whole as a result of these challenges. A last-ditch effort to stay alive. Rick made a life-altering choice as his season came to a close. He pursued a high-risk, high-reward chance after failing miserably for the past 6 weeks. Drilling results indicated that an expansion of Rally Valley, which was situated approximately half a mile distant, may contain substantial gold reserves. The problem? He would need at least 7 or 8 weeks to remove the top layer of dirt before he could start slogging, as the pay dirt was located feet below the surface. His financial stability could be jeopardized if he risked $1 million on stripping the site without success. There were severe time limits as well. After the enormous digging effort, he had just 2 weeks of possible suing before winter hit. He faced insurmountable obstacles. Rick had to take a chance in the hopes of a large reward because his season was about to fall apart. The strain on the crew's minds and bodies. The emotional and physical fatigue that comes with working in such a harsh environment has been just as much of a problem as the financial difficulties that Rick's crew has been facing. The crew is exhausted from constantly dealing with breakdowns, long hours, and rough circumstances. The uncertainty surrounding the success of their mining activities has severely lowered their morale, as has the looting. Among the crew, Buzz LGO maintains the most hopeful outlook. However, with time running out, his confidence is being put to the test. Maintaining equipment has been an arduous task for Ryan Kent and Kyle Lawson. Racing, but they've been facing a steep uphill battle due to a lack of appropriate parts and funding. All of these battles are beginning to take their toll. Rick risks losing his crew's devotion and possibly even financial backing if he can't turn things around. Rick Ness has had a roller coaster season, fighting off equipment failures, financial uncertainties, and the elements on a continuous basis. His resiliency has been put to the test with each new challenge that has arisen. Even his most ardent admirers must be asking how much longer he can endure after witnessing his persistent efforts to reverse his luck. In a critical view, Rick's problems this season show how harsh gold mining really is. While it's commendable that he keeps trying, his team's readiness and resource management are called into doubt by his persistent mechanical problems. Opinions on his risky attempt on deep ground are divided among his admirers. Some call it foolish, while others think it could be his defining act. Perhaps the most daring thing he has ever done was to decide to drill all the way into Rally Valley. The pressure to pull it off successfully is at an all-time high, especially with Winterfest just around the corner. Not only may his failure spell the end of the season, but it could also put his mining career in jeopardy for the future. The fate of Rick will be decided in the following 2 weeks by his capacity to adapt and persevere through challenges. With a lot of gold on the line, the season is precariously balanced. The Rush fanbase is waiting impatiently to find out if Rick can perform a miracle. Will he be able to save his season with the help of Rally Valley and his gamble? But will this be the final straw that makes him give up on his mining dreams? The battle is far from done, that much is obvious. Anyone can beat the odds, and Rick Ness has always been one to fight. The greatest challenge of his career, though, lies ahead, and time is of the essence. In the weeks to come, viewers will see if he can salvage Season 15 from disaster or if it will be remembered as his worst defeat to yet.